Hi, and thank you for joining me today for day 27 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life, round 15. And today's sketch in the top left-hand corner there is by the lovely Mel W. Scrapping. Now, I must admit, Mel, this did give me a little bit of pause for thought when I decided what I want to do. And I have taken some liberties on the design, but this layout was definitely inspired by your sketch, and I'm thrilled with how it came out. So I'm using Shimelle's last collection. Her new collection's out now, but I'm using her last collection, Main Character Energy, to document 4 small photos. I printed all 4 out onto a 4x6 photo paper, and these are of the kids back in 2014 when we took them to the Giant's Causeway. Whenever we went over to Northern Ireland to see my father-in-law, we'd always head on up to the North Antrim coast to see the Giant's Causeway because it was just so much fun and it got them out into the fresh air. So you can see I've laid my photos up. I've got 3 that are portrait and 1 landscape photo here. So I layered them up on some white cardstock and then cut them out so that they've got a lovely white border. I'm going to use this cloud paper as my background, which Mel has in the sketch. You can see she said either mixed media or pattern paper. And then rather than having that square piece inside that, I've decided to offset 2 papers and cut them off the edge of the page. You'll see what I mean shortly. And that sort of is half the diamond inside and half the square that she's got in that bottom corner. So that's where the inspiration came from. I'm just layering up some card here to see how it'll look when it's cut down. I find it quite hard to visualise sometimes just how things are going to look, and I'm pleased that I did that actually, because you saw I moved the papers over to the left a little bit more. They were a bit too far over to the right. So now I've got them in the right position. I just want to tack them down with my ATG gun, and then I can trim them off once they're tacked down a little bit more and start the actual layout. So I'm just grabbing my big scissors and trimming this down. I struggle a little bit with the other side because it's not the natural way for me to cut, so I cut a little bit but then decide to go in from the right hand side, so just turn it round, and this is much easier. So just following the line of that paper and trimming that off. So there you go, that's how the layout's going to look. So just roughing up those edges just to get a little bit of texture onto the page. I do like a scuffed up edge, and the sketch looks like it does have scuffed up edges or torn edges as well, looking at the edges on that square in the bottom right hand corner. So just finishing roughing those up. So these papers are from the patterned paper pad, so they're slightly thinner than the open cardstock paper, but that's fine. It's actually easier when you're layering over a few different layers that it's thinner. So I chose these colours to match the colours of the photos. As I mentioned, we're at Giant's Causeway, so you've got the blues of the sea and the green of the plants that are growing in amongst the cracks of the stones there. So just going to mount this all up onto 25mm foam pads from Sticks 2, and then I can stick that onto the layout. And in fact, I stick it down, then choose a title, then realise it's too far over, but those pads are pretty forgiving. If you pick them up quickly, you can move things around. So I've just added them there, and then I'm looking for the thickers, the glitter thickers. Here they are, and I'm just going to add this one with the heart, and my title's going to be My Heart, because on the other page there is a my. So just pulling off that heart. I didn't make you watch me do that because it's quite a painful process. They do tend to separate these thickers, so you have to be a little bit gentle with them. So you can see there the heart is right up to the edge of the paper, and I wasn't happy with that, so you'll see in a second. I'll just pull those photos up and move them about 1 inch or half an inch over to the right, and it just gives me a little bit more space there to add the title. So bringing my T-square ruler back in just to check that I put this on straight. With all those different angles on the page, it would be very easy to go wrong there. So I wanted to make sure, using my ruler, that it was straight on the page. So there's the heart and the word heart down, and this is the word my. I'm just going to add to the top here, and that completes the title. So now that title's down, or more or less down, I'm going to come in with the sticker sheet first of all and see what I can find. There you go, you can see how they've separated the letters from the foam. So very frustrating, but a little bit glue solves that. So I find these stickers, lovely memories, and let's go, and just layer those around the page. And then I find this one that says the world is full of beautiful things, and I think that'll work really nicely at the top of the page. So just dotting some more gold hearts around this glitter heart, just to add a little bit more gold and bling. And here's another word phrase that I find, that's the one that says let's go. So just going through the ephemera pieces now, and I find this lovely journaling spot, which is going to go down in the bottom left-hand corner there. So I move the phrase stickers up to the top, and actually they fit much more nicely there with lovely memories up there. And then this journaling spot, I just rough up the edges with my fingernails and stick that down there. And it's nice, you can't see it so well on the camera, but all the photos are raised on foam, and then that's flat on the page, so it's giving a really nice juxtaposition there. So cutting out this little banner that says Love This Life, I really like that under the right hand photo there. And you can see I'm just focusing in on the yellows and greens really on this layout. I've got a tab there that I'm going to add my date to, but that does get moved. And then I find this wonderful camera. It's just so much fun, and it really is a lovely big element to add to the bottom there. So I'm just going to raise this onto foam pads again so it's the same height as the photos, and then stick that overlapping the journaling card slightly. And this is why I don't do my journaling until the end, because more often than not I want to layer things over. So it would be a pain if I'd written that and then wanted to add something there. So here are those tabs. They're just scrap card, and I've used my EK Success tab punch to punch those out. And I'm going to layer this word sticker over the craft, what's it called, tag, and stick that down. So that's sandwiched in between those two papers there. So just gluing that black one down. The black one's just a half tag. I decided to just use a half one there. And then I've got these butterflies that I'd fussy cut from the papers previously, so I'm just going to add one to the top here, and then when I do that I realise I need another one at the bottom just to even things out and keep the layout nice and balanced. So there we go, that's that one at the bottom. And as you can see, I'm focusing on the blues and greens. I'm avoiding the pinks. So now in with these little embellishments. So I add one little one to the bottom here, and then another one to that top cluster, and then I'll add some of the enamel dots around there as well, just to finish those bits off. So I wanted to add a little ribbon loop to the right hand side of this photo cluster. I just felt it needed something there above that Love This Life banner, so I just added that loop, and then I'm going to come in with my stamps, and I've got a little set of hexagons on this set, the directions stamp, and because all the stones are shaped like hexagons in the Giant's Causeway, I really wanted to bring those hexagons in. So just stamping those on the diagonal, a bit like Mel's sketch, and top right, bottom left. And then I do add another little cluster on the right hand side here, and then I'm going to come in with my gold watercolour paint and just paint in some of those hexagons. So while I'm doing that, please don't forget to check the description box down below to find the playlist of everybody who's joining in on this fabulous hop, along with Mel's details. She's such a sweetheart. She's so supportive of the whole community. So please do go and check her videos and go and give her some love as well. I know she would appreciate that, and I would too on her behalf. So just colouring those hexagons in. I did add some splatters as well, and then finally coming in with my journaling on that lovely journaling card. And then adding the date to that tab. So I'm just going to stamp it onto some white cardstock. I also add some of those hexagons onto that just to add a little bit of interest, and then cut that out. And you can just see the hexagons just peeking out next to the date, and I shall colour those in with gold paint again to finish that off. So just getting that glued down with my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. And here I am with that gold paint. And that finishes the layout off. Thank you so much again for joining me. I shall see you very soon. Bye.